flash, bang, pain, pain.
What you are experiencing is an unfortunate side effect of the recent explosion at the Flamethrower reactor. The fallout is affecting us all in a myriad of ways.
Ouchie, ouchie.
Yes, ouchie indeed.
Alright, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to the Adventures of Bract. We're here at dusk, just as the sun sets, back out at the Flamethrower reactor. Now, this is actually not technically a part of our story right now, but based on the previous video, I really wanted to sort of come back here and just show you a little bit more of what it looks like on the inside. Because before, we did have the option of walking through here, but instead I was showing you some of the build craft and things that we can potentially be doing. Speaking of which, let's buy some more traits as well, because we're level 30 now, right? So we'll go a little bit deeper into explosives. I do think I'm going to want to keep going. So let's take these traits here. These should be pretty fun to have a look at. So, we've now unlocked Shaped Charge, which means we do more damage to foes with vulnerability. We obviously have various things that can inflict vulnerability, including our explosions cause vulnerability, and our dodge rolls create explosions, and blowing up turrets creates explosions, and we have the aim-assisted rocket, which is an explosion. So we basically just do 10% more damage now, which is awesome, because it's all explosions that do that. And finally, we'll unlock our first Explosives Grandmaster here. I don't know whether we will be using this in the challenging content coming up, but we'll see. This is Orbital Command. Oh, I've just realised we don't have any audio. Here we go. We do here have Orbital Command. Damaging a foe when they're below half health, causing an orbital command strike on their location. Yes, seriously, that is a thing. So I will show you guys what that looks like. Here we are, obviously, in the reactor itself. And as you can see, we've got some ridiculous space-time anomalies and things going on. There's a panel here. It says Master Control, Console, blah, 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 blah. Safety fields operational, mass destruction contained. And yeah, there's like a floating platform above us. There's all kinds of things to look at here. I'll show you the water. So there's several rooms coming off on the sides, right? And they're all like themed after various elements. So this one over here, maybe if we can look in, we can charge over with our rocket boots. Maybe we can have a look down here. No, I think that's the room that we can't get to. There's actually like a hidden little story here and a meta event here. You'll see up here, Roba is preparing for future cleanup efforts. There's currently no active operations within the reactor. If we wait here long enough, just like with the swamp, eventually we'll find something. But there's like mini jumping puzzles and things you can do in here as well. So check it out. This is a water room where it feels like we're underwater and there's weird stuff going on, but we're technically not. There's like a grassy room. There's all kinds of fun stuff. Just down here, though, by the way, for what it's worth, there is a hero challenge we can do to give ourselves a little bit more strength. So how about we do that to make this not a completely useless waste of a trip and start of a video, and then we'll get back into the main adventure here. So here you go. There's lots of stuff I want to show you in the open world, and I figured we can do that at the start of videos like this. So here we got some ancient elemental fire energy. This is actually really dangerous and difficult, so we got to be careful. Here, so watch. When I attack this Skelk at below 50% health, this giant laser came from the sky and struck it. It was already dead before the laser landed, but if he was a bit of a tougher opponent, he could have been blown up by that. So let's set up our turrets. Let's throw some supplies down on the ground with our med kit. Oh, God. And there's a Marsh Drake that we've attacked here, so we'll just let that die there. And here we go. So, Ancient Fire Elemental Energy. Let's release it. And yeah, we just get these crazy creatures in the area. We'll give ourselves a ton of boons. And we'll try to blow them up. Now, they drop these lava fonts, which are really deadly. So we want to stay away from as best we can. Let's rocket kick him as well. Yeah. Ah, he's immune to burning, so rocket kick's not necessarily too good. But we can shotgun him in the face. And voila. So there we go. That's another hero challenge. And yeah, it feels pretty good. Actually, a lot easier than I was expecting. Night as well as truly fallen. Let's get back over to Ratasum now, and we'll figure out what's going on at Gorr's lab. So, quick recap for those who may have missed it. Pretty profound thing happened last episode. One of the scientists here at Ratasum, Professor Gorr, has developed a theory about magic. He's saying that elder dragons are destroying magic, straight up getting rid of it. And he says that they're consuming it, which has reduced the ambient levels of magic in Tyria. Now, if he's true about that, that may give us some insight into the motivations of the elder dragons, where they get their strength, and provide us an avenue of attack. So the Priory, the Dermot Priory, the Order of Whispers, and the Vigil are all here, various Asuran representatives of those orders, to see whether Gorr's theory has any merit. The thing is, the other Asura in the city didn't really believe in the idea because they believe that magic cannot be destroyed. But magic just changes forms, but it will always come back.
It's your turn to dance and sing. I'm exhausted. The Mist War will still be there tomorrow. Join the battle for the Mists. Defend our world. Geniuses and others needed to keep evil at bay. Come one, come all.
This is amazing because we heard these guys talking in a previous video, but they were saying something different, right? So yes, that's the idea, and Gorr was kind of booed off stage, then mysteriously went missing, and we were told he died, which looks extremely suspect, so we're going to figure out what's going on by sneaking into his lab here. We could have chosen two different options here. We could have gone with the Order of Whispers to sneakily deal with this, or the Dermid Priory.
The place is in total lockdown. Maybe we can tease a gap in their defenses out of the guards.
To deal with this through pure brain power and raw intellect, which is what we're going with, since we missed all the Priory stuff when we were a child.
History never lies. Historians, however.
So, Crasso says, security is tight, but we'll get through. Racked and his arcane troglodytes are no match for our combined intellects. Alright, well, I've got a few questions before we begin. Now, in truth, guys, one of the reasons why I wanted to choose this instance over the other is we get to have this conversation here with Crasso and get more information, where for some reason on the Order of Whispers version, apparently this doesn't exist. So that's a bit of a shame, because there's lots of cool information here. She says, excellent! Accepting the gaps in one's knowledge is the first step towards wisdom. What can I help you with? Okay, so we can say, well, what's the plan again? We're keeping it fluid at the moment, but the gist is that we sneak past the Arcane Eye, using disguises and or subterfuge, we find evidence about what happened to Gorr, and then we abscond. Alright, okay. Why does the Priory care about Gorr, we can ask? And she says this: his theory could show us how to defeat the Elder Dragons. The more we know, the more effectively we can combat them. Also, he is an unparalleled researcher. Call it professional courtesy. I wonder what his research was about before this. And then we can actually pry even further and say, is that all? Which has this fascinating line after this. And she says this: well, if he's right, and it's true that the dragons do eat magic, then the Priory itself becomes a target. With the amount of magical objects we have storehoused, our home base is a draconic buffet of deliciousness. So, pretty scary idea there. Yeah, if this is true, remember the Priory are all about collecting artifacts and studying them and things with magical properties. So, yeah, we haven't seen the home base. We've only seen the Vigil's home base. We haven't even heard of a Whisper's home base, though I assure you they do have a secretive one. So, why is this important? How big of a threat are the Elder Dragons, we can ask? And she says, in a word, they're unimaginable. Catastrophic. We believe that the last time the dragons rose, they raised Tyria and everything on it down to the bare rock. So this is her description. Really interestingly, if you choose the Whispers version of this instance, they make another point and they say this: have you ever noticed how history only goes back so far? It's because the last time the Elder Dragons were awake, they destroyed everything. They fell asleep and now here they are again. So we have to be very scared. You'll notice though, as an Asura, we get a lot of this dialogue, we get lots of extra details. Now, an interesting little insight for you maybe. Remember I said that the Asura was one of the last stuff that they made? I think it's because when they got feedback from people who were experiencing, say, the human story and the earlier stuff they did, people felt that there wasn't enough exposition about why the Elder Dragons are a threat, about who the Orders were before we meet them and join them. And so when they came to making the Asura thing, they load a lot more in to really try and detail that to us, which is why I'm quite happy to be able to show this here for you all. So that's all I needed to know. Thank you, Crasso. Alright, let's get on into the base if we can. This is Gorr's lab, it seems. Nice looking area. Hey, guys. This is the Arcane Eye.
Speak. What's going on here? We have an appointment with...
There's nothing going on and nothing to see here, citizen.
But we need to get inside. We're expected.
My orders come from Agent Racked himself, and he says no one gets in without clearance from the Arcane Council. Move along.
So who's this Racked guy?
Empirically speaking, we're not getting in through the front door. The guards won't risk getting on Racked's bad side. He's a particularly nasty character. We need a better plan, and fast. The Priory's reliquaries are full of magical items. If the dragons feed on magic, those reliquaries become prime targets.
We could overpower the guards, grab what we need, and fight our way out.
Too public. We don't want to alert the entire Arcane Eye and everyone else in the vicinity. We need to think our way in. Racked is meticulous and cautious. He would have sent hazmat suits in to analyze dangerous areas in the lab. Follow my lead. I've got an idea.
All right, boom. So there we go. Racked, okay, this guy. I would be lying if I said when I made my character name, I didn't immediately think of Racked. Basically, I was like, oh, what's a male Asura name? And I thought Racked, and I thought, okay, let's just add another letter to that, but keep it monosyllabic. All right, Bracked, there you go. And that's how our name came about. So yeah, there you go. All right, Arcane Eye agents, if you're going to make us deal with this the hard way, let's sneak around the back of the lab. Hope the Priory knows what they're doing here. Hello, guys. Okay, there's a Hazmat Suit and just an Arcane Eye agent for us to take out? Fine. With all of our, like, crazy damage now, like, I mean, look at that. We fire an extra rocket out at him, and then we fire an orbital strike. Like, the first thing we target will just completely get destroyed. Oh, we're not killing them. We're just knocking them down.
Grab a hazmat suit. Once we're disguised, they won't look twice.
Okay, all right. So, what do we got over here? Hazmat Suit. We can climb inside this, can we? Do you have anything to say?
Greetings and salutations.
Security's tight, but we'll get through. Rakton's Arcane Eye. Yeah, that's the same dialogue as before. Okay, so which Hazmat Suit do we want, guys? Let's pick this one. Boom. And Crasso gets in the other one. Oh, man, this is going to be cool. All right, so we get to infiltrate the base. Do we go back round to the front door? I think probably yes, we do. Okay, let's go back round to the front. Very slowly and steadily. We can hardly even walk on this platform in this. So yeah, we haven't seen very much of this either. Another thing, you know, if we'd picked the MIG story, we would have seen a lot more like playing as golems and things, climbing into golems. This is our first experience here. One of our racial skills as an Asura, by the way, will unlock this for us. So this is kind of perfect timing. You guys will see. We're about to, at the end of this quest, unlock the ability to do this at any time.
We've got hazmat golems coming in. Open the doors.
In we go. Nothing to see here. Open the doors. Please. Please. Are they gonna open the door? Do we have to speak to them?
Look there. I believe the common parlance is a body bag.
Oh my god, a body bag. So right over there.
Embrace simplicity.
I guess we don't want to speak to the agents or really draw too much attention to ourselves. Just move on in. There's another agent at that panel there. And here we find a body bag. This always reminds me of a moment in Guild Wars 1 where some people some of the Shining Blade get attacked by spiders in the forest. And you see in a cutscene they're carrying these cocoons around.
Look at this, Crasso. I don't know this poor devil, but it's definitely not Gorr.
I concur. The Arcane Eye must have him socked away somewhere. And if Gorr's not here, there's no need for us to linger.
Agreed. But what do you think happened here? Does the Priory have any information or insight that could explain this?
We have entire libraries full of information on the Arcane Eye, on Racked, and on Gorr's research, but this doesn't make any sense to me. Yet. Of course, we need to be alive and unincarcerated to learn more. With that in mind, let's make a graceful exit before Racked gets wise.
Bracked versus Racked. Let's get out of here.
Nobody's supposed to be on shift right now. Identify yourself.
We're the Special Task Detail. Our orders are to examine all the,
You're not a member of this crew. Who are you, and what are you doing here?
We're just, oh, never mind. Time to fight.
You're not very smart.
Shut down all hazmat suits. This area is compromised.
Back up. We've got intruders in Sector 7.
Oh my god. What? She was not very intelligent as a member of the Priory there. What is this ridiculousness? Jesus Christ, cheese it. Let's get out of here. I don't want to kill loads of Arcane Eye. So yeah, they faked Gorr's death. This is a body bag, but Gorr's not even in it. So where is Gorr? I guess we were right to suspect that something was up. And this more than confirms it, right? If it's not the actual body we're expecting it to be. So let's just take these guys out and get out. Are we good? Can we leave? Can we bail? Hello? It still tells us to defeat the agents. I think there's one more over there. There we go. We can snipe him from the back. Come on, Crasso. We're well overdue to get the hell out. Oh my god, there's a new wave.
Freeze. Anybody moves, you all get licked.
Hey.
What's going on here? Who are you?
We're admirers of Gorr's work. We came to pay our respects to his body. But as you can see, it's not here.
I have no idea what you're talking about. There's nothing even remotely out of the ordinary here, except you. Since this is a secure area, and since you're not authorized to be here, run, or I will exercise my right to use lethal force.
Let's go, Crasso. I want to regroup with the others and find out what they and Zoja make of this.
Carry on, Savant. I'll meet up with you and the others later.
What? She's just going to stay around? No, she's going to interrogate. I like how he won't use his lethal force, despite the fact we clearly... Actually, we didn't use lethal force, did we? We just knocked these guys out and moved on.
Embrace simplicity.
So, that's fair enough, actually. I thought we just, like, killed all of them, and then he showed us lenience for no reason. Racked, hello. So he looks pretty cool, doesn't he? This might be heavy armor, though. I don't know whether we can ever look like that. He says, I don't know who you are, which means you don't belong here. Move along before I do something gruesomely official to you as an example to other snoopers. All right, I'm already gone. I'm out. Peace out. Look, we figured out the important details. This is a good view of the city. Here's what I should have shown you ages ago. Look at that. That is Ratasum. And you might think, by the way, that that's like faked or whatever, or behind a loading screen. But the truth is, if we were in the open world and not a story instance right now, because there's the barrier keeping us in here, well, we could, in theory, walk all the way up to that, all the way over. And that is, you know, you can see it. You can, in theory, walk over and go to it. You've obviously got a huge gap to get across, so you'll need some other tools like maybe the Griffin mount and other things. But it is genuinely, like, in terms of the game engine, something we could travel over to. It's pretty beautiful. One of the newest maps they just added to the game, as of the Path of Fire expansion, does a similar thing. Whew, okay, so there you go. Gorr, where are you, man? Let's go consult with everybody else and see what they have to say. I actually thought we were going to be going back under the city, but turns out we're not. We're going to our home instance instead. For the first time in a while. Not ever, but the first time in a while here. So, hello, welcome back to the lab. I guess everybody came here to see us. That's a sign that we're becoming a bigger wig now, guys, right? From the home instance as well, we're actually going to go to a different building now. We never came into this one before. All right. Hey, guys. How's it going?
So Gorr's death was a fraud. How does knowing that help us? The problem is still Elder Dragons. While you poke around in back alleys or libraries for information, the Vigil is out there fighting.
And while you're fighting, Whispers is setting up the means to deliver a death blow. We appreciate the distraction you provide, but you don't really think you're going to overpower an Elder Dragon, do you?
Swords alone won't get results. Neither will intrigue. The Priory supports a more holistic approach. We intend to learn all we can about the dragons and their weaknesses before we strike.
We get the picture, generally speaking.
Rack's arcane eye agents were all over Gorr's lab. They removed a body they claimed was Gorr, but it wasn't. I suspect he's still alive.
If he is, the arcane eye has him. They run a remote facility in a human village called Garenhof. It's isolated, remote, a perfect place to stash Gorr.
Finally, a concrete objective. Just say the word, and I'll have Vigil soldiers standing by to storm Garenhof.
No, Ract is too good at this game for that to work. But I'm better. We can use Garenhof's low profile against him. I say we stage a demonstration and get ourselves arrested. Ract will haul us in to avoid undue attention. Then we break out and bring Gorr with us.
Regrettably, I cannot participate. I must confer with my colleagues in the Priory, but I wish you luck. Let's regroup when the mission is complete.
I want you to take it from here, Savant. I'm going with Crasso to help the Priory look into Gorr's theory. We both need to make inroads with the orders for my long-term plan to be viable. Work with whichever one here you think will get the job done.
I will. I'm as eager to figure this out as you are. And eventually, you'll need to share some details about this long-range plan of yours.
That's kind of fascinating, actually, the idea that Zoja might be going to the Priory itself at this point in the story, and we just sort of don't go with her.
Nothing's exploded, right?
She says, promulgating Gorr's theory is essential to the orders and my long-range plans. If we're smart and we play this right, we'll be perfectly positioned to confront the Elder Dragons. I love how, like, oriented she is around that right now. Much more so than we've seen the other characters, too. I'm with you. So she's going to go off with Crasso.
History never lies.
I'm glad to see the Staff Savant among us. Between Batanga and Slep, things were getting a tad lowbrow. Thanks, I'm always happy to raise the tone. So we get a choice, Vigil or Order of Whispers here. I really want to go Order of Whispers again, I really do. However, so she says, I'm standing by to stage a fake protest and make the Arcane take us into custody right beside Gorr, where we want to be. Then we just break out and take the good professor with us. This is a fun instance, like, to play, vaguely, but this one actually has a lot more going on in terms of dialogue. So once again, we get screwed away from the Whispers, who I really want to hang out with, man. But okay, so we're actually going to go with Slep here. That's straightforward. Are you ready to go in and rescue Gorr with overwhelming force? Say the word, and I'll have a vigil squad ready and waiting at the site. I'm in. Let's go kick down some doors. And voila. So, we get our rewards here. Another new rifle. I think I'll equip. I do enjoy me some rifle gameplay, so we'll go with this one here. Now we level up. Okay, so there's a lot to... Oh, and we get another rifle from the level up, but this one's actually even better, with a Sigil of Fire on it too. I don't know whether you guys saw when we were playing the Char, but the Sigil of Fire was something we were using, and it was proccing, but I never, like, pointed it out in the episode.
Do you require my assistance?
It says, like what you've seen so far, but do you have what it takes to fight for the Vigil on a full-time basis? I think you can, but you're going to have to prove it. If the opportunity arises, I'll be glad to. Slep is really interesting because it's like, Asura aren't particularly militaristic, and yet there they are as a member of the Vigil. And I think some of the Asura that get motivated to join the Vigil are some of the most interesting characters in the game, and we'll see his justification very soon. For now, though, we're going to go back up into the Brisbane Wildlands, and we're going to be on a bit of a journey here. Through the wildlands and beyond. This is going to be a bit of a special moment here, guys, because what you will find is this is where we go from the territory of one race into the territory of another. Did we ever speak to this scout? I don't know if we did.
Brisbane Wildlands used to be a secure, secluded spot for some of our more experimental labs. Now the Inquest have moved in and targeted Marat Baru's weapons research. We're working with the Wild Hunt and Seraph forces to protect our labs, but it's not sufficient. I'm deputizing you with two objectives. Assist the researchers at Aethervolt Labs and stop the Inquest from disrupting Marat Baru.
So, we've been deputized. That's kind of nice, right? So yeah, we're actually going to be traveling through Brisbane for quite a while here. And on the other side of Brisbane, we'll be back in Crater, guys. And in fact, if I show you our map here, we'll get on the road just before we go, right? If I show you the map, this is where our quest is taking us to. So we started at Ratsum, and we're on like a journey comparable, if not longer than, the Char one across the Shiver Peaks that we had before. So it is a hell of a journey here. It's going to take us through a variety of different places. And you will actually find by the end of this journey here that we are kind of in a place where our human, Casey, once upon a time laid eyes on. I'm going to come up through this lab here just because I think this place is kind of pretty. Also, check it out. So, we get our elite skill. And like I said, because we're an Asura, we get some Asuran racial abilities. They're all weak, but one of them is the power suits. You remember that hazmat suit we were in earlier? We can now summon one of them at any time for our own use. It's a bit like a turret. It will stand there for a while. We walk up. We get the option to press F and enter the suit. Except this time, we get all manner of different abilities. So we can use this swirl attack. We can use... oh, God, not off the edge. Not off the edge. No, 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 careful. Oh, my God. We can use this to fire like a barrage at people. We can use self-repair and heal ourselves, like so. And we get a bunch of, like, punch attacks. Anytime we can leave the suit or we'll be forced out after about a full minute of gameplay. Here we go. We'll use the Vista while we're in the hazmat suit. That's kind of nice, actually. So, yeah, it's kind of a cool thing. But again, the devs have just ignored these abilities. And so it's kind of really weak. It's sort of like weak even by 2012 standards. When most of the rest of the game is a lot, you know... animations execute a lot faster. There's a lot more quality of life on stuff these days. The game feels a lot smoother. So these are all generally really slow, clunky abilities that are just not going to keep up with the game. I mean, they might in personal story, but it just doesn't feel too good. And also, look at that meaty cooldown, 240-second cooldown. To tell you guys the truth, I actually really agree with... so this is a cool base as well. Sometimes a champion spawns here. There's some green golem servants. What do you mean, clocks? Oh, I'm supposed to be off duty, but Spark, my crew leader, ran off on a fool's errand and left me to watch the lab. Maybe I can hurry him along. It wouldn't hurt us to send help his way. He's collecting stuff. I don't know. We might find him later on the road. Yeah, generally speaking, philosophically, I actually agree with really long cooldown elites. I like elites that like have big, powerful, potent effects, and then you don't get them for ages. But the game in general has trended to having shorter and shorter and shorter cooldowns, so more and more and more is always accessible all the time.
To the north, you can see Mount Nashington. There, the Skrit have made the most extraordinary community. They have creative pursuits and have begun to dabble in ranching. They even defend themselves against the very dark elements many of us have come here to fight. I can't help but feel that it's important to support such curious creatures.
This is a Sylvari. And she represents the Sylvari outlook quite well there, actually, I think. Wants to support those who are curious about the world, those who defend themselves from... and when she says dark creatures, she means stuff like the Inquest. She means minions of the Elder Dragons. I believe Primordus will attack them there with destroyers such as those that we saw in Gorr's lab before. Here, look at this escort. This could have been... this could have something to do with what we were looking at before. That actually... Hold on. That might roll into a really cool event. Whatever. We'll leave it. We got such a long journey to go on, guys. But it might have taught us about an extremely mysterious race that we will interact with very few of throughout this adventure. But a couple, and they live underwater. They're called the Largos. Maybe some of you guys are familiar with them already. So we'll just keep walking along. You'll notice now it gets a lot more jungly. We start finding these trees these homes made out of trees and plants and flowers. These are constructed by the Sylvari, our neighboring race. As an Asura, I don't really think we care much about the Sylvari. They're very new to the world. They're very naive. They're not particularly as intelligent as us. We sort of see ourselves as above them, similar to how we see ourselves as above the humans, right? And we're not very interested in their affairs. I mean, we're going to be a little bit interested in their affairs right now, as far as, hey, we're going to Kryta. But you'll find that when we get to this town, Garenhof, this village in Kessex Hills, it's a human village, but the Inquest and the Arcane Eye, actually it's just the Arcane Eye, right? The Inquest have got nothing to do with this. But the Arcane Eye have set up a secret base there that the humans don't even necessarily is happening, as far as I can tell. So, you know, we Asura, we just work immediately under their noses in kind of a manipulative way. And I really love that, because that's sort of what the Asura are to me. Oh my god, what attacked us? So here we get a Nightmare Hound, and we get some Nightmare Spiders as well. These are actually minions of some of the more dangerous aspects of Sylvari, which we'll become familiar with in time, but a group known as the Nightmare Court. Moving on, let's get some more stuff as well, right? So we've got some more points we can spend. I want to show you guys some more kits here. So, how about we get the Flamethrower? We'll just work through the kits, right? So we'll get the Flamethrower. Let's unequip our turret here.
Start dropping the poison traps. We'll kill these Skrit with their own stupidity. Move it. The faster we kill these Skrit, the faster we can raid the throne room.
So it seems a ton of bandits are trying to attack the Skrit. That's a bit unfortunate. But yeah, as we get closer to Kryta, we start finding bandits here. Yeah, I want to keep the potion, the elixir, so that we can drink it for swiftness. But here, check it out, guys. So the the med kit gave us like this little thing on our hand. The Flamethrower gives us this bad boy. Look at this. Oh, yeah. It's so good. And you can actually see, like, I'm trying to get a good shot of it here. You can see on the top of it, there's like a little candle, I think it is, in this chamber, in this reservoir. And this is where we get our fire from. So, we get 5 new skills. It's like a whole new weapon. No other profession in the game can use a flamethrower like we can. So, what do we get? We get the auto, which we can use against this bandit here who's trying to attack those Skrit back there.
Give it your all.
And we just set him on fire. We don't actually set him on fire. Well, we do, actually. We just do straight up regular damage, and we also put burning on him. And also, our explosive traits will continue to trigger. So by frying his face off, we also throw orbital strikes at him, and we throw rockets at him. How cool is that? This is what Engineer's all about, right? So that's our auto. We can just continuously fry people. And it does lots of packets of damage super quickly. So sorry to that stag there, but he had no chance whatsoever. The skill 2 is Flame Blast. We fire a napalm ball that rolls through foes and then explodes. So we can actually double tap this, right? So we fire the napalm ball out like so, and it hits someone. Or if we double tap it, we can explode it prematurely. So I'll use that on this boar over here. All the wildlife is all constant guinea pigs for us. So here, if I double tap it, we can blow it up early, as you can see there, and then go straight back into our auto attacks. So that's the skill 2, the napalm ball. And we're getting red meat and fangs and things. This ball, we can show off the next one. So we get Air Blast, push back foes and projectiles with a hot air blast, burning foes that were already on fire. So it says push back foes and projectiles, but then the tooltips don't show anything. Does this actually knock back projectiles? So here, if we set him on fire with the napalm, and then we use the skill 3. Oh, he interrupted the skill 3. That's amazing, did he? Anyway, we should knock him back and set him on fire even longer. The skill 4 is very similar. It's just called napalm. to what we saw on the Elementalist. It's just another version of the Flame Wall. Maybe it does more damage, maybe it does more conditions, I don't know 100%. But you get a Flame Wall. This one actually gets triggered. We fire like a projectile, like a burning hot ball out that lands. And then finally, Smoke Vent, which is just vent smoke from the Flamethrower and we blind people around us. So a little bit of utility there on the skill 5. And that's what the Flamethrower feels like. There's a lot of really fun traits that interact with the Flamethrower, which I'm really excited to show you guys later. But yeah, so, I mean, this is Engineer in a nutshell to me. Run around triggering crazy explosions, burning people, drinking elixirs as we go, participating in a bit of alchemy, dropping turrets, supplies, all kinds of good stuff. So, now that we have travelled a great distance, you may recognise a little where we are. Check it out, guys. We've moved all the way through Brisbane. We did a huge walk up here. And we have just crossed the border back into Kryta. We are in Kessex Hills. The funny thing is, we need to be on the other corner of Kessex Hills, which is going to be no small journey. So let's get going. I can show you as many new skills and things as we like. We can continue. Actually, how many more points do we have? We might not have any points. Oh, we got 12. We could probably learn some new skills as we go. It's better that we do it this way than, you know, just slam a ton of information on you all right before a dungeon, right? So, yeah, with mind on that, some other stuff I want to get ready is more elixirs. So, what I really want to do is I want to buy this elixir here, this one here. It costs 15 points, so it's quite far away. Alright, so we got Elixir C, which is, we drink it and we convert all the conditions we have on us into a boons, which is cool, but not very relevant for PvE. Then there's also Elixir R, and I'll equip this one and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Let's, so we're going to be careful here right now because we're in Centaur territory. There's a big fort over there called Fort Salma that later on in the story will be attacked. In fact, do you remember how I told you that different maps exist at different periods of time? A funny, weird thing that I hope the devs fix one day or address. You know how Lion's Arch exists like 4 years into the future, and then the rest of the game is here in 1325. Well, this map here, Kessex Hills, not Brisbane, not Metrica Province, not any of those, but Kessex Hills. Kessex Hills kind of exists, not in 1325, but in 1326, or maybe even 1327. This bridge is broken. There's an event to fix this bridge. Let's go down here. Can you see all these ruins and wrecks and just destroyed nastiness all over the place? Yeah, this is actually left over from a story that will take place after the core campaign. So we're kind of forward in time a little bit right now. I know that can be really weird to wrap your head around, but while we're in Kessex Hills, all this stuff we're witnessing, we really shouldn't be witnessing. Kessex Hills, at the time of the main story, at the moment that the Asura traveled to Garenhof to figure out what the Arcane Eye was doing, Kessex Hills didn't look like this. This was all rolling, green, nice fields that you nowadays, as a player, you can only find by looking at the original Guild Wars 1, the original Guild Wars 2 trailers, or you know, watching old videos. Oh my god, we might actually die. This is really bad. This is really bad. That guy really hurt. How did he hurt us so badly? What actually hit us? That was obscene. Let's rocket boots away. We're not out-leveled right now. Jesus Christ. What was it? That bandit? I'm not even sure. Alright, let's drop this stimulant to give ourselves... Oh, wait. Which one gives us swiftness? The 5? No, it's the 4 that gives us swiftness, and we already did. So, this heart that we're at, the fallout of what's going on with all these wrecks and these ruins and these hallucinations and things you just saw. I hallucinated a spider back there. That I don't want to deal with just yet with you all, because it's related to stories after the main campaign, alright?
This is a fine.
So yeah, a bit of a weird experience here in Kessex, but there you have it. And hopefully the devs will be a bit more consistent as time goes forward about stuff like that. It's like the only real major place in the whole game that it's relevant. We could have taken another route to Garenhof here. I don't want to be caught with these centaurs, by the way. They're pretty annoying, so we're going to just try and sneak past. I could have gone a different route and avoided seeing that altogether, but hey. It's fun trivia, and maybe you guys would like to see it. So there you have it. Let's have a look at a new elixir. Okay, we'll turn off the flamethrower for a second here. So elixir R. We can dodge. We can dodge again, and now we have no endurance. Okay, but if we drink elixir R, we get all of our endurance back. So what this means is we can dodge 4 times in a row. We can be invulnerable for a really long period of time. Hey, there's a wanted bandit leader back there, actually. We could maybe fight. A player that I just ran past. So yeah, that's Elixir R, the main aspect of Elixir R. But of course, you also get the throne version. So we can shatter Elixir R on the ground, and this one's really strong. What that does is anyone in this gets revived. So if they're down, this reses them back up, NPCs and allies alike. So it's really nice. It lasts a long time. It also cures conditions, but it's got a really, really heavy cooldown. We can only shatter that on the ground once every minute and a half. Okay, God. So we got the lake. Yeah, Keswick Hills is a pretty diverse map. Oh my God, we're really going a weird route here. Maybe we should take stock. Yeah, let's not go through the lake. Let's not go through the lake. I'd rather go up this way. And if we can, do you see that human settlement over there? I'd rather go to that. So hold on, let's go back up over here. Did I mess up? Yeah, there's a road. We'll take this road back over in this direction. So yeah, there's that elixir. Did we buy any more elixirs? No, that was all we could afford, right? Or could we afford another one? I can't remember. Yeah, we can. And then we get elixir S. So this one's really great as well. Drink elixir S to shrink ourselves and become invulnerable. So if I chug this, look, we become a little guy down here, all the way down here on the ground. And for the entire time that we're that tiny, we're too small for enemies to land actual attacks on us. This makes us invulnerable. So this is like if we're really threatened and scared and we've been stunned and we're about to die, we can chug an elixir S.
To explore this place.
And we can save our own life. Even better, if we shatter an elixir S, you might expect... Oh, here's that giant spider we saw before. Do you remember that? Oh, this is dangerous. This is not good. Here, I can show you. Oh, this is so good, right? So we got to get past that spider. If we shatter elixir S on ourselves... Wrong ability. We stealth ourselves. So we can stealth and then rocket boots away. And because we had stealth there, the spider never saw us. So stealth is a mechanic that is splashed around in some of the classes. Warrior doesn't really get it. Elementalist doesn't get it easily at all. You only get it through a very special method underwater, really. But Engineer can get a little bit of it through some of the elixirs. So we can become invulnerable by jinking it readily or stealth ourselves. So this makes this really strong as well, especially as a PvP thing. This is really, really great because you can stealth friends who are in mortal danger and then heal them up and stuff. It's really good. So yeah, that's Elixir S. How much we'll use this, I don't know. Maybe it will be useful in the dungeons coming up. Good thing to describe to you all here. And of course, if we'd made a thief, remember I said I was wondering, should we be a thief Asura or should we be an engineer Asura? Well, if we had made a thief, then we would have a lot of stealth. We would have been doing an awful lot of that. There are other methods to get stealth. It's not just this elixir, but that's a good one. The main elixir I really want is next, but we are missing a few points, so we can't quite get it just yet. So, yeah, we're traveling along now. We're doing a little bit better. There's another scout. I wish there were more people I could talk to, you guys.
Why are you still here? Sold out your own people.
On now. I mean, I'm just trying to make a living.
I should arrest you for attempted murder.
Just a little fun at my expense, folks. Please don't arrest me.
Pack up your stinking toxic fish and shove off, or I just might.
Yes, sir.
So I think he's been selling rotten, nasty-ass fish. Okay, that's great. There's actually a Centaur Emissary here. I'm not here to cause trouble, so if you're trying to confront me, don't bother. I'm a diplomat.
We've received word that centaurs have been attacking merchants under Lion Guard protection.
Then you have been given faulty information, Sheriff.
I'm not so sure. But I'm also not in a position to take action. The treaty protects you for now. But know that if you keep pushing, my Lion Guard will gladly push back.
I assure you, we have nothing against the Lion Guard. Your presence on our lands has been accepted.
So interestingly, because the Lion Guard aren't associated with humanity necessarily, the Centaurs don't necessarily have such a big grudge against them, and so we actually have an emissary there, and then that dodgy fishmonger back there. So yeah, there's all kinds of interesting stuff going on in Keswick. We're probably getting closer to some of the coolest stuff very soon. Here, this is the Giant's Passage. This dude seems to be trying to get supplies through. Can you help me? I'm trying to get to Overlake Haven to sell my goods, but Ettins have blocked the road with a rock slide, and I can't get through. Alright, we can handle that. That doesn't sound like too much of a problem. So we'll come through to this tunnel over here, and we'll see that there's some Ettins. Level 19, but we're in level 30 now. So this is fine. Don't forget that this is actually technically only the second map of the game. So we don't have to worry too much. It would have been really good to have the Flamethrower here, but I suppose our orbital strikes and extra rockets and things can clear the landslide just fine. So as you notice, as we destroy it, as we do damage, the rocks actually do fall away. And this is out here in the open world, right? So this is actually, this is a dynamic event that's disturbed the area. And by breaking the rock slide, And other players are nearby. We got this guy, so there's a warrior, a human warrior that's helping us out here. By doing this, we actually let the supplies get through and potentially trigger even more different events and things. So let's take these guys out. It says on the top right, we only need 2 more Ettins to kill. We're actually in range of another event as well. And voila, there you go. The cave is clear. And that guy, I kind of want to show you. He should now. There you go. You can see him over there. He's wandering on through. He's not wandering on through. He's running through. Maybe he's trying to catch up for lost time that he missed out on before. Hey, who knows? So yeah, we get a ton of Ettins to loot. We get experience. There's another haven here. And now we start seeing some really fun stuff. Kessex Hills just might be one of my favorite maps in the game, just because of all the big landmarks that are here. And we're about to uncover one of them. Something that I don't want to give you a huge history course on immediately. Let's turn Elixir S off and get our Flamethrower back. But we will demonstrate. Look at that in the background. Look at that huge wall over there. That wall was created by a race, an avian race, known as the Tengu. So they are bird people that are intensely private and have sealed themselves off from the rest of Tyria right now. Could be an incredible force and ally in fighting against the rest of the Elder Dragons, but generally speaking, aren't interacting with us very much. And it seems like the Destroyers are actually attacking them here, on this side of the wall at the very least. I think some Tengu talk about them attacking on the other side as well. So they've summoned this big fissure, which we can break and sort of help them out a little bit here. Looks like a player, an actual player died here trying to finish this event. But so there you go. Oh my god, they actually hit so hard. Oh, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Let's get away. So yeah, we can break the fissure and we can clear that up. All that smoke will clear away now that we've done that. But yeah, this is the Tengu wall here. We will see more stories with this soon enough, but here's an actual Tengu himself as well. It's Sangdo Swiftwing, who says, I could use your help, traveler. These beasts are unlike anything I've seen before, and they're starting to spread across the wall. How can I help? Eliminating the destroyers' volcanic burrows could solve the root of the problem. Also, suspicious rock mounds have been cropping up and we should investigate those.
Act with honor. Speak with integrity.
So, we can ask him to tell us about the Tengu. And he says, we are a people of honor and structure. Long ago, Tengu clans were widespread throughout the world. Then, the great tsunami of ores rising heralded our journey home to our city. Oh, so you come from within that wall? He says, yes, the wall encircles our city and provides privacy and protection. When the destroyers began burrowing under the wall, I was sent out here to look for a solution. So yeah, they have an enormous wall, guys. It goes all the way along here, all the way down here, and it seals off this massive area here called the Dominion of Winds, which is not playable. Ever since Guild Wars 2 came out, us, the player base, we have looked in awe and wonderlust behind that. Funny enough, owners of the collector's edition of the game got an art book which had various concept art for and different ideas about the franchise, and in there the devs announced that originally the earliest designs for Guild Wars 2, the Tengu were going to be a playable race and you'd be able to go behind that wall, but those ideas were abandoned and scrapped, and to this day we have never been able to go back there. But we will interact with the Tengu. Some of them will help us in our battle against the Elder Dragons, but in general they're going to stay rather private. We are stuck in a river here, and I'm going to try and get out. There's a secret jumping puzzle over there. I think I've mentioned those on the series already, right? I've got a whole video playlist full of completing those. And so, yeah, that's the Tengu Wall. That's a bit of the ruins of the Tower of Nightmares as well. All the big landmarks from Kessex Hills, really. And you can see why it's such a cool map, right? And now we're finally going to reach Garenhof, which in itself is also an extremely interesting location. It's an interesting location because it's not just any normal human village. It's a human village erected in the shadow of an enormous floating wizard's tower. Oh my god, I'm falling. We'll fall into the water here. Oh my god. Oh, we survived. It's okay. My god. Yes, so this is Garenhof. I'll get out of the water and we'll talk about and explain all of this and find out what the hell the Arcane Eye are doing here at the start of the next episode. Thanks very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, and I'll see you shortly. Oh my god. Please, out of the water now.
Sometimes late at night, I hear strange noises echoing in the canyons.
What kind of noises?
Well, I swear there's screams, but not, you know, human.
Oh, you're just trying to scare me. You know the wizard will keep us safe.